all right. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to a weekly focus. The session that we do in terms of looking how the market is actually, is going to perform for actually this week. And actually, we do this on a platform of 360 Capital. That's where you're going to be able to find all the weekly focus talking about the next opportunities that we're going to see for this week. Again, definitely the disclaimer is that this information is not purely to tell you what to trade or what to not to trade. It's purely for education purpose, and as well you can use this information to compare with what you actually have in terms of your analysis. So all right, let's not waste more time. Let's just jump in the market and see how the market is actually, is going to be performing for this week and how I think the market will perform. First of all, before we do anything, we have to go and check the high impact volatility that are actually happening on this week. So again, today it's Monday, 4th of March. We are actually seeing the CPI that is coming 9:30 a.m. today from Swiss franc, month to month. So again, we're expecting a lot of Swiss franc to have a higher volatility there. That will happen actually today, 9:30 a.m. There's some couple of news, but they're not that much in terms of high volatility. We're seeing the Spanish unemployment change, French government budget, but the bigger one today, it's actually, CPI. Most of the time, Monday, there's not much in terms of the high impact volatility. But now we can see at least we have one that can give us opportunity and to look into that instrument, and again to actually have opportunity of executing the trade. All right, moving on tomorrow, Tuesday, 5th of March. The big one that I'm seeing there, it's a Bank of Japan governor. It's actually speaking. Of course, it's about Bank of Japan speaking in terms of the interest rate. If they're going to increase the interest rate, they're going to reduce the interest rate. So we are expecting Japanese yen to have a high impact volatility and almost all correlated instrument to Japanese yen at the moment. But again, earlier on the Asian session, there will be Tokyo core CPI. Those that they actually wake up early and trade, they can take advantage and trade the Tokyo CPI that is happening 1:30 a.m. on actually Sydney session or Asian session. Moving on 5 p.m. Tuesday, we are seeing ISM service PMI that is coming from United States. Again, high impact volatility coming to to a dollar instrument and all correlated instrument to a dollar, as well as indices like US 30, NAS 100, S&P 500. On Wednesday, early in the morning, Sydney session 2:30, there's a GDP coming from Australian. Again, Australian dollar is going to have a high impact volatility there. 11:30 a.m. we're seeing construction PMI from GBP. Great British Pounds and all correlated instrument, they're going to have a high impact volatility there. All right, moving on Wednesday, 3:15 p.m. there's USD non-farm employment change. Non-farm employment change that is happening on 3:15 p.m. right? Okay. All right. All right. So moving on 5 p.m. on Wednesday. Again, we're already seeing the 4:45. There's Bank of Canada having also BOK rate statement. Again, it's about the interest rate. Moving on, and for 4:45, again, there's overnight rates. I think the volatility coming very, very strong in terms on Wednesday. 5 p.m. Canadian dollar is coming also with the IV PMI. We're seeing a lot of instrument from Canada from 4:45 to 5 p.m. Canadian dollar, they're going to have a high impact volatility. There's a couple of news that are actually dropping there from Canada. So all correlated instrument to Canadian dollar, they're going to have a higher movement volatility. Going on Wednesday, 5:30 p.m., 5 p.m., there's also a Fed chair Paul testify from US. So a federal chair, when he's speaking, we saw a lot of high impact movement in terms of the trades, right? In terms of US indices like NAS 100, S&P 500, US 30, we're going to see those high impact movement happening on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Again, later on Wednesday, 5:30 p.m., there's a Bank of Canada press conference again coming. Again, it's all about the interest rate, if they're going to increase the interest rate or not, or they're going to start reducing the interest rate. All right, moving on Thursday, March the 7th, there's a main 3:15 p.m. There's main refinancing rate from Europe. So again, expecting a lot of European instrument and all correlated instrument to have a high movement, as well as maybe German 30, UK 100 to have also high impact volatility there. 10 a.m. Swiss franc, also there's a foreign currency reserve, which is also, it has high impact in terms of Swiss franc and all correlated instrument to Swiss. Again, moving on 3:45 p.m. in the Eurozone, there's ECB, European Central Bank press conference happening on Europe on a 3:45 p.m. So again, on Thursday, we are seeing a lot of volatility coming from a Eurozone, again, and the US as well. Later on Thursday, there's again a federal chair speaking again, Powell testifying. Again, it's about the interest rate, how they're going to increase the interest rate or not. All the way to Friday, moving on a Friday, March 8th, that's where there's a big one, the one that a lot of people they're are actually looking forward to. It's non-farm payroll that is coming, NFP. It's coming on Friday, 3:30 p.m. But before that, we're going to see also an employment change from Canada, again from 3:30 p.m. I think it's the same time. 2 p.m. there'll be FOMAC member Williams speaking as well. High impact volatility that we are actually looking at this week. So if you look at the volatility, I think the volatility start kicking purely on Tuesday with the Bank of Japan, all the way going on Wednesday. That's where there's a lot of movement there. There's a GDP from Australian dollar. There's a Bank of Canada, again, coming with the interest rate. There's a Canadian IVPMI, Bank of Canada press conference, all the way to Thursday, where we're seeing again ECB, European Central Bank again. So it's a week of decisions in terms of interest rates from a different region, all the way to Friday, where we are going to see non-farm payroll. So, all right, that's in terms of a high impact volatility it's looking, but I think at particular time we can jump in a market and try to see what type of instrument we should look up to. So again, the first one, Australian dollar, it was there having the Australian dollar news. So first of all, we're going to go on a daily time frame. Maybe let me try to clean up, the charts so that we can be able to have a clean chart. Okay, maybe it's better. All right, so on a 4-hour time frame, again, I can see this is the highest position that this trade has been in terms of Australian dollar versus United States dollar. This is the lowest point at particular time. It's sitting at 0.65139, right? 1365185, playing around at that position. So what I'm thinking is that because of, if you can see, all the price has pushes all the way down and touches to the bottom. That was on 15th of Feb. So right now, this week, I think the market will push the price up all the way to 0.66049, right? Somewhere around here from Tuesday, all the way when it comes to Wednesday, that's where it's going to start pushing the price all the way down to this. So if you can see, it is going to form a double top, right? It's going to form a double top whereby you can have an opportunity and be able to trade there. Right, so All right. So we saw the Australian dollar where exactly it's sitting at the moment. And again, we saw Bank of Japan having having the session as well. So we look on JP225. I think it will be very, very, sorry about that. It was on pause. I think it will be very, very important as well to look into JP225 according to the high impact volatility that is coming this week. There's a Tokyo CPI from Japan, whereby it's going to drive a lot of high volatility. So what I'm thinking in terms of Japanese JP225, I think it will push the price down. If you look at it on a bigger time frame, already has rejected from above. I think what it's trying to do is to push the price all the way maybe to 38,962. From there, 38,962, it can break maybe from Wednesday. Now to start moving all the way to 36,104. But before it even get there, these are other, opportunities that you can actually, prepare yourself. Comes to this position. Once it break, you follow where the trade is actually going. But if you can see with the smaller time frame, like 15 minutes already, volatility has already started kicking. So that's JP225 in terms of how I'm thinking the market will go. I think these are the space where the market want to cover all this space, available space that the market needs to come all the way to cover here. So that's the JP225 based on the CPI that is coming from Tokyo CPI, right? All the way also, there's a Bank of Japan on Tuesday that is speaking. So we are thinking that maybe because of things has been already tough in terms of in Japan, we saw the housing bond declining for last month, so I'm not actually thinking that Japanese yen will have a high positivity. That is why I think it might drop to this position. All right. Let's move on to another type of instrument that we can look. There's also Australian dollar. We look on it. I think we can look on Canadian dollar because there's a Bank of Canada again having a speech. So let's do this. We go. Maybe we go on a Euro USD. Then we put USD CAD, right? Some kind of interesting gaps on the market, but I think the market tried to recover for the gap that it was. Again, we go on a bigger time frame. Already the volatility is going to start. I think the biggest volatility is starting at 10 o'clock when London session open. But how I think this week Canadian dollar is going to perform, I think this is actually, the position where Canadian dollar need to recover. But there's another opportunity that you can target at 1.34790. From there, you're actually collecting a couple of pips that you get from there. So this is the level that we're talking about. Okay, there we go. You can actually make some good profit if the market favors you, comes all the way to 1.34940. Then you wait for it and actually, see if it actually breaks. Then you continue with your trades, or you add more trades on it. All right, so that's about USD CAD. I think by the time we get to Wednesday, it will be already on it down. And now from Thursday, Friday, it will start picking up a little bit, getting the momentum back. Okay, what else we need to look? We need to look into, before we look into any dollar instrument, let's look into the euro instrument. There's also monetary policy coming from Europe, Euro GBP or Euro USD. Let's look maybe Euro GBP or Euro USD. Okay, Euro USD. All right, right now it's sitting at 1.08442. We can see the volatility of last week. It pushes the price all the way down. Now, the good thing about the Europe, the Bank of England has been actually, putting the interest rate on a pause, and they're expecting to start, dropping the interest rate. So would I think that the market will push the price all the way down? I think what we'll do for today or from now is to push the price all the way up to 1.0894. So if the session of press conference of euro, it come negative, that's where we're going to see it will drop. But for now, I think it's a bullish movement. A little bit of bullish movement goes all the way up. I know a lot of people been expecting that the market will drop, but again, we need to consider how, you know, in the volatility it's actually, you know, laying around in terms of how things are happening, right? In terms of the interest rate, we all know that in US they put it on a pause. In Europe they put it on a pause. The only guys that are actually in trouble, it's China and Japan. Those are the ones that they're trying to increase the little bit of interest rate. So where do I think Euro USD will go? I think it will push the price a little bit up. Then it will start now coming down from Wednesday and then cover all this space. So if you go to a smaller time frame, you can see there's all this space. But now here's what is going to trigger people. You might think that it will come here immediately, but you see that it's pushing the price all the way up. Probably today there's not much in terms of volatility. It might try to push the price a little bit down, to decline a little bit down, but from here it will shoot up once the volatility news of Bank of ECB, European Central Bank press conference happen, right? So, all right, lastly, not last but one, again, we can look at the UK 100. The UK 100 has been performing really, really well, pushes the price all the way up. And again, last week we were expecting this instrument to drop, and we see it drops all the way, breaks the position that we think it will recover. What exactly will happen now? Because of in an hour and a half, there'll be the open session of London. So I think the price, it might, let me see, might decline a little bit to 7,651. And then if it has high positivity, it might push it all the way down. But because today it's Monday, there's no much in terms of, you know, positivity. So it might decline a little bit, pushes the price, breaks 7,651, goes all the way to 7,621. So that's how I'm thinking about UK 100 or FTSE 100. From there, it will start now doing the U-turn, goes all the way up when you get to Wednesday, Thursday, all the way to Friday. So, all right, let's jump into NAS 100 in terms of NFPs coming. You know, the market has been actually, you know, performing really, really, really well in terms of the indices. Look at where it is, 18,322. Now, I predicted already before that it might happen that NASDAQ will catch 20,000, right? But when? That's the question. Is it going to touch 20,000 anytime soon or not? I'm not sure, but we'll see with the results of NFP. Because of the results of NFP, they're the ones that can give us the positivity to say that NASDAQ is actually, you know, going all the way up. All right. So I think NASDAQ, what we'll do today, maybe try to push the price a little bit down, recover this volatility that happened actually on Friday, and then recover to 18,043, which is really, really high. 18,043, it's still on top, right? And from tomorrow, when the volatility start kicking on the different types of news, it will start again, pushes the price up, breaks, maybe get to Wednesday. That's where it will start again, pushes the price all the way down. By the time we get to Thursday, the market, of course, will be below. So that NFP, when it kick, it can show the positivity of bullish movement. So right now we're expecting a little bit of drop in terms of NASDAQ, and as well as maybe US 30, a little bit of drop, so that actually the market, when the volatility start kicking on Friday for NFP, we see the price pushes all the way up. And if you think of NASDAQ, where it's sitting 18,328, by the time we get to Friday, it might happen that NASDAQ get to maybe 19,000, somewhere around that position, somewhere around that price. Same as US 30, 39,000. You know, the hope is actually US 30 to get to 40,000 anytime sooner. You know, so we are really, really anticipating that the market, it will bullish when it comes to Friday. But right now, because of there's not much volatility, it will push the price a little bit down to 38,950. Maybe it might recover to 38,855. From there, it will be maybe already by Thursday. Then we can now see the positivity of a bullish movement. Maybe breaks 39,112. Let's see if it can break. It can break. Get to 39,302. That's the actually, the highest position that we're anticipating when it comes to NFP to get to that level. So yeah, guys, we have looked in terms of a couple of trades in the market, and yeah, there's high impact volatility. They're there. Yeah, so those are the weekly forecasts that you can actually check it out and see how actually things are actually doing. But don't forget, 360 Capital, they have 50% bonus whereby you can deposit from $100 and actually take advantage and get a 50% of equity bonus. And as well as to all clients that are in Cape Town, we are actually having a seminar in Cape Town this week, Saturday, and we want you all to actually come and to join. We might also maybe put the link below to actually book your space if you want to be part of us in Cape Town. So yeah, the link will be below this video so that you can be able to be part of us when we're having engagement about the market, about the trade. So thank you very much for tuning in. Keep subscribing, keep liking, share with other guys. My name is Che Yusuf. If you don't find me at 360 Capital, catch me on a daily money market on YouTube. All good. Thank you.